So you're super thirsty. Do you choose whiskey or water? It's a beautiful day outside. Do you stay in and work or go out and play? Another tough question. You're literally living on a national park property for the summer. Do you go explore the park or do you get on the bike and ride? Well, we've definitely got some options, but I think we need to make a decision. Hey again, welcome back to the Unbound Nomad channel. This is a spot for everything RV life, motorcycle life, and really just life in general. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about choice and decision, the differences between them. Is there a difference? What does it look like? What do they mean? Things of that nature. When you dive deeper into the origin of these words, you find that they are kind of interesting, at least I think so. Decision comes from Latin. And really the root here of the word is to cut something off. So choice, actually not a Latin word, but really from French descent, comes from the meaning of to perceive. So kind of taking the origins and definitions together, again, you see some more clarity between what these words mean. With decision, it's more a process orientation, meaning that we're going through the analysis and steps to eliminate or cut off those options. And with choice, it's more a mindset approach, meaning that we have perception of what we think is right or wrong according to our own morals and values, and we think, that helps us kind of determine what choice might be the right one. When you're talking about making decisions, people tend to set up processes to really allow them to make the best decisions possible. This can be from, the smallest decision in the morning, like what shirt to put on, to something that has really high impact as far as, whether you're going to hire, fire, train an employee. And we can build in checks and balances along the way in reaching those decisions. And this can be a thoughtful and really quite thorough approach as a leader and as a decision maker. So with choices, we face opportunities, right? Now, these might be, again, large or small, but it allows us to select or choose from some options. Now, although we might put some really heavy thought into the bigger decisions in life, like where to live, what job to take, who to marry, most of the time, the smaller decisions we just kind of make instinctively. What socks am I going to put on? What am I going to eat for lunch today? So we make choices based on the values and beliefs that we build through our life, throughout the development of our morals and perceptions. And one of life's biggest responsibilities is centered here in that we need to spend time building our choice senses and systems. How do we determine which choices to make in life? This is stuff that gets built in us over time, from things that when we're little kids, like touching the hot stove, sticking a butter knife into a power outlet. Those things help us learn as we get older how to decide what to do, what not to do. You're an adult now and you still look both ways when you cross the street, right? I hope, or most likely you probably won't make it to be an adult. Choices are a little more difficult. We can't always collect all the information needed, let alone analyze all of the options and record a sound conclusion. It really depends on, the circumstance of the situation. Time tends to escape us to cut off certain options because the choices we make in life fit a different model. Choice, it tends to involve our life more in which path we select and the direction, unintended or not, that it takes us. So here's the kicker. We make a lot of decisions during a day, a week, a month, but how many life or leadership choices do you really make? We can go through our life making decisions on where to live, where to work, where we're going to play, obviously, but do we make the choices of how to best live or lead? Is that something you can really decide yourself? This is why I really think that we have to take time to be more proactive in our choice making in setting a life and leadership direction. It's often that I encounter folks in leadership positions who really have no direction for where their group is going. And that tends to make it difficult because you're kind of wandering aimlessly without a mission in life. And so it's very important, I feel, to, as a leader, sit down, spend some time, analyze life, options, and consequence, and start to set that direction so that you can give yourself and your people purpose. I really think that we need to focus more on making choices than on decisions. We need to make real and necessary choices on how to lead in life and in business in the most purposeful way. We have to be sure that every action, every decision, every step we make is with purpose. Otherwise, it seems wasted. A few points that I've picked up while contemplating and researching this topic is, first of all, that life choices set a direction. So we want to spend time to develop a mindset on how to build a meaningful future. We also need to choose how to lead. How do we lead our teams, our families? And our work demands a thoughtful approach, meaning that we have to define the presence that we want through our actions and our interactions. And decisions matter. You have to use a process to prune out bad options and select the best ones possible. Effective decision making can only come from a place of choice. And you have to make a conscious effort to escape fear and the perception of limitations in order to get there. You have to open your mind to all possibilities and do this without feeling restricted. And once you finally get there, nothing seems like a problem that you can't escape or that you can't solve, especially having a team behind you to support. Instead, it's only opportunity for growth and discovery about yourself and about your team. So now I'm curious, what distinction would you say there is between choice and decision, and where would you spend more of your time? Drop a comment. I'd like to hear from you. That place of choice that I mentioned, it's really a kind of a crossroads of feeling fulfilled and aligning with your own values. It's only after you've identified that place of choice that you can really kind of move into the point of decision, which is where you finally consider all the options and then you decide what to do. Let's think about this in a different way. We'll use the TV remote analogy here as an example. So with the TV remote, you have the freedom to choose from an endless list of shows these days and channels. You could choose a sitcom, a TED Talk. You could watch something on YouTube. There's the Golf Channel. Pretty much anything that you could think of. You're at that place of choice. But you don't make decisions in a void. Your decisions are then influenced by all of these different factors that really help you to make your decision. Things like habitat, culture, your education, your goals in life or in that specific task, all of these things come to bear as you tend to make that decision. It's when you start taking these factors into consideration that you go from that point of choice to the point of decision. So if you're watching TV just to relax, then you might put on a sitcom or a reality TV show or something that you like to just unwind, something that's mindless that you don't necessarily have to think about. But if you're wanting to participate in office small talk or something, the water cooler chat the next day, then you really should choose a program that everybody else is going to be talking about.
Now remember, they're not programs, they're TV shows.
So here's another example, and this time we'll put it in the professional context. Let's say you're about to hire a new employee, and you've got several good candidates in the running. You're at that place of choice where you get to choose among any of them. Now, when you start evaluating things like their experience, the needs of the business, the candidate's skills, things of that nature, you start to pare down your options and you become at that point of decision. You've moved from choice now to decision. The candidates look really, just as good as the other at a high level, but once you start doing that analysis and you start to compare the different factors involved, then you start to whittle to a decision. Now, this is just the core distinction when you're talking about choice and decision. Choice tends to connect to the place of desired intention, values, and beliefs, whereas decision connects the place of behavior, performance, and consequences. Now, you might say that choices are connected to reasons and decisions are connected to causes. To understand the difference between choice and decision, you can really avoid the buyer's remorse that comes after the decisions have been made. It kind of lets you use your full human potential and become the best version of yourself, to understand and appreciate the differences between these two. So that's my thought and words on the difference between choice and decision. I hope that this was informative for you. It surely was for me. I find that by taking topics like this and really digging into the material, it helps me think about things a little bit differently, and I want to share that with you, especially in these talks. So, choice and decision, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more. I'm actually going to be talking about how I think about choice and than my process for decision making on certain topics. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you back around. Take care.